Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is United vs. Everybody. I am your host, Sean, and I'm so glad to have you guys back. We got a lot of videos in the last couple days because there's been a lot going on. Not only have we have a lot of matches, obviously we had a Thursday match, and obviously we have a match on Sunday because we're back to that busy schedule right now. That there's been a ton of transfer news in the last couple days. Literally no time to rest. The game's coming thick and fast. The rumor mill is treading thick and fast. But as you know, I'm trying to do my best to be here to get your opinion on everything, to make sure you guys are up to date on everything, and just to interact with you guys and talk about all things Manchester United. So we're here today to do just that. We've got a little bit of transfer news. We've got a Crystal Palace preview because we've got that match tomorrow. We are hot on the heels of a 2-0 win over FCSB to solidify our place in the next round of the Europa League. But, you know, I'm always here to look ahead. So I want to get your thoughts and predictions on the match. I am going to need your help, as the live chat says, to pick a starting 11, because I thought it'd be more fun to have you guys help me do that than me just do it randomly. So we're going to do that today. Catch up on the latest and greatest news, like I said. Then we're going to dive into that. Slash is back in the chat. How you doing, Slash? Good to see you, my friend. How is your weekend going? Anybody watching any of the matches today? You know, I predicted a 2-2 draw between Bournemouth and Liverpool, and Bournemouth just kind of stunk the place out. I think their finishing was not great today. I don't think that was a pen on Gakpo, by the way. Gakpo tripped over his own feet, but it is what it is. But hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new for me, please. We are on the road to 3K. If we can get there, you know, I think you guys would be absolute. If we get another 3K, we'll do another giveaway. I haven't done a giveaway in a while. It's been a minute. But we could do another giveaway for 3K. So keep an eye on that for me as the months roll by. But let's get stuck in with a bit of transfer news. So first and foremost, if you guys saw the thumbnail, Aiden Heaven is officially a United player. He was revealed by the club today. Photos, contract signed, medicals done, bing, bam, boom, done. 18-year-old defender joins us on a 5-year contract. Hayden Heaven said himself, "I am incredibly proud to join Manchester United. I'm grateful to everyone who helped me make this dream a reality. There's so much I want to achieve. I'll be giving everything to continue my development and become the best player I can be." So good to see us picking up another signing. Now, a lot of us weren't quite sure what his role in this team was be. You know, when we saw him, we compared that to the Opie Martin signing. We saw Aiden Heaven, young player coming from the Arsenal Academy. Probably meant he was going to go into our under 21s or our under 18s, right? Well, Jason Wilcox also had a comment to make after the signing was announced, and he said, "We are delighted that Aiden has joined United. He is already an extremely talented defender who is ready to join the first team squad in order to maximize his development. This club has a phenomenal track record of supporting young players, and we believe that Aiden is in the perfect place to reach his excellent potential." So, first team squad ready, says Jason Wilcox. You heard it straight from the guy. Maybe this solves a backup to Lissandro Martinez issue. First team ready. Number 26 shirt for Aiden Heaven. So ain't no high numbers here. The guy's already got one in the 20s. So you know he's in the first team picture. Contracted to 2029 with an option of a further year as well. Wilcox ain't fucking around. So let me guys know if you guys are buzzing about this new signing. Sounds like he could come in and be in and around the first team squad. Now, we saw Godwill Kokonki training with the first team and whatnot. Kokonki's still very young. He was on the bench today as the under-18s played in their derby. Bexy, welcome back. How are you? Has Rashford left? Not quite yet. We are going to talk about that a little bit today. We're just buzzing through some of the transfer news as we go. Is Danny in the house? How are you? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. So to answer your question, Bexy, the big update this morning, and has been kind of evolving as the day's gone along, is Fabrizio Romano started off things with Marcus Rashford and Aston Villa's interest. So we spoke a lot about this in last night's Transfer Talk show. If you guys haven't yet gone and watched that, go do so. A lot of fun rumors going on. Villa just sold John Duran to Al Nassr, and they're reportedly looking for Rashford to fill that void. Fabrizio said this morning that Unai Emery has given the green light to Aston Villa to try to advance a loan deal for Marcus Rashford. It's going to be expensive. It's going to be a difficult deal to get done in these last couple of days, but Villa and Marcus Rashford's reps have already been speaking. Strong interest, negotiations ongoing. Loan move until June. Salary covered for the most part from what I've read. Discussions about a buy option are being discussed as well. So sounds like this could have the potential to be a permanent move at the end of the season. Sounds like kind of like the Antony loan that Villa will be taking on the majority of his wages as well. Reportedly, Rashford has already spoken to Unai Emery, and he's all for it. David Ornstein had more information to add. He says that still work to do, but expected that 27-year-old will join Aston Villa, likely to include a buy option, significant salary coverage. So again, another big-time journalist saying that Villa are going to cover a lot of his wages, bonuses as well. So again, we could be making even more money. And then Romano followed it up late this morning before I went live, saying that Rashford and Aston Villa have agreed now on personal terms. A deal potentially could be finalized in the morning, buy option being discussed as well. I just hope it's not some sort of a distraction tomorrow on match day. That would really be frustrating to see all this crap pop up right as we're trying to get a match. Wait till after the match, right? Don't go running to Henry Winter talking about how glad you are to be joining Villa, how it's a dream come true and whatnot. Like, it's super annoying. So that's how the story has developed today. What's Bexy got to say? Is that Tell any good? What position is he? So Matthias Tell, Bexy, young 19-year-old attacker for Bayern. He can play anywhere across the front line. If you look up Football Critic, he mostly plays on the left. He can play as a striker. He can play on the right. Pretty much anywhere across that front line he can play. He give us another option. We're losing Antony. We're losing Rashford. That only leaves us with Ahmad, Garnacho as these wide players, and I think we're going to need some more depth. I do like Tell a lot. I actually think, in my opinion, Tell is better than Garnacho. I'm not saying I would sell Garnacho. I'm not saying anything like that at all before anybody clips me up. I'm just saying I think he's better than Garnacho, especially off the ball. If you guys have ever watched that. Danny says, you'd probably play left 10, but Auckland play 9. He has a high potential, arguably higher ceiling than Garnacho. Bexy just a year behind in development. So yeah, pretty much what I said. If you watch him, so I'm sure a lot of us were on Tell Watch this week in the Champions League, and again, very, very good on the ball, very, very quick. Not afraid to get stuck in off the ball and put in the shift. I've liked Tell for a couple years. I told you guys when the rumors first popped up how when I used to play FC 24, I would start a United career and I would make Julian Nagelsmann and I would sign Tell from Bayern. Like, first thing, I'd get rid of Antony, sign Matthias Tell. He's very, very good. As I said last night, in terms of the Rashford to Villa, I do think this could be a good move for Rashford, at least on loan. He gets to play in the Champions League. Villa play a style that suits him, puts him in the best position probably to push for a spot to get back into the England squad. Now, I know there's going to be people, and probably some of you, who don't like the idea of selling or loaning players to Premier League clubs. I mean, a lot of us were kind of up in a stink about Sancho going to Chelsea. Some people are still furious about Elanga going to Forest, and they just destroyed Brighton earlier today, like 7-0. That was an embarrassing thing to watch. How we lost 3-1 to Brighton when they just got absolutely bent over by Forest is beyond me. But I hear it. I hear the criticism. I hear the outrage. I get it. It is what it is. At this point, I think it's probably more important we just get Rashford out of the squad, the same as Sancho. And everybody can just part ways. It's not about like he's toxic, I want him gone. It's just for the best. It's best for everybody if we just part ways. Just nip this in the bud, get it done and over with. So it's no longer a distraction. It's no longer half of a presser for Ruben Amorim to have to answer questions about. It is what it is. Let's just get it done. Problem solved. Danny V says Diego Leon played 90 minutes yesterday, got an assist for Paraguay U20 in South American Cup. Yeah, you were watching that. You sent me a couple of those names. I was looking a couple of those guys up. But yeah, interesting stuff. You guys know Danny is big South American scout. He is the go-to guy for any and everything related to young South American players, especially in the South American League. So if you have any questions about any of that, don't be afraid to ask Danny. But it's good to see Leon kind of, giving us something to look forward to. I was already pretty excited about him. Physically, the guy, he's kind of like Dorgu. Physically, he looks like a grown man already. It's insane. Slash says, wait and see how the media narrative around Rashford changes as soon as he's out the door. I mean, the media can't wait. They're already going in on, we talked about it last night, the MEN are already going in on Giovanni Kenda rumors. It's bad enough when the MEN is, and guys like Samuel Butthurst are writing negative agenda about actual information, but now they're writing negative spin articles about just rumors. So they've already, the headline I read to you last night was like, are United about to make the same mistake under Amorim as they did under Eric Ten Hag, basically dissing us for being linked with signing former players. Like, it's just embarrassing, but it's nothing new. We know it, death taxes and, the media hating on United. It's all what you're going to do. So Dana B says, have the rugby on as well. Listening to you, Sean. Rugby, something I never got into. So if you guys have ever, so obviously you guys know I was in Manchester the other week. One of the things that Justin and I did when we were there, we went to go see the kids play at the FA Youth Cup at Lee Sports Village. Well, Lee Sports Village is the home of the Lee Leopards, which I guess is a rugby team. Obviously, I'm not familiar with rugby, but there was an older couple in our hospitality suite. Big Lee Leopards fans, season ticket holders. That's where they go. But they were super excited. But yeah, so it was good. The stadium is really, really nice. So actually, a lot of it is nicer than Old Trafford, to be honest. Big up, Darko. Good to see you again, my friend. How are you doing? We're just wrapping up some of the Marcus Rashford talk right now to Villa. We went through kind of like the timeline of the rumors and updates today. But big up, man. Good to see you again. Darko says, even Adama is physical. Yeah, well, Adama got bodied twice now this season by Licha. So we are here for that. Danny says, rugby was my number one sport I played up until high school. All right on, man. Maybe you're a bigger guy than I bet. I know rugby, you tend to be bigger to play rugby. Never played rugby. I've never watched rugby. The first time I was in Manchester a couple seasons ago, I think that was when there was like a rugby World Cup, or so I couldn't find anywhere around Manchester during the downtime to watch any football matches, but rugby was on everywhere at that time. So this was around the time it would have been Real Betis and Southampton, so like mid-March a couple seasons ago. But so on Matthias Tell, as you guys are asking about them, he was not in the Bayern squad today, meaning exits probably looming. Plettigol, Florian Plettenberg reported this morning that we've now made an official verbal offer to Bayern for Tell, and Bayern are currently reviewing that offer. This probably means we have found an exit route for Marcus Rashford, because it's well known we needed to get Marcus Rashford off the books, get those wages off the books at least right now. Same with Anthony. It's nice. I think that's an absolute win for Ineos and Wilcox and whoever's been in charge of these loans, that the Real Betis are paying like 80% of Anthony's wages. If we can get Aston Villa to do somewhat the same for Rashford, that's a big deal in my opinion. That could be $500K a week almost in wages that we're not paying, and we could be getting bonuses from these loans, and it could put them in the shop window to maybe boost some transfer value. And it's, to my opinion, there's nothing wrong with any of these loans right now. But Teresa, good to see you. Hi, everyone. The best team in the world. We are the best team, you guys. Hit the like button for Teresa for her jumping in today. Appreciate that. Danny says, nah, smaller than you. I mean, I'm not too big. Personally, I'm about 6'1", probably about 185 or so. But I have to exercise so I can be, because I kayak. So I have to be able to get my kayak up and down off the car by myself. If I can't do that, then it's going to be impossible for me to go kayaking. And it's nice to still kick a ball around every now and then. I might go out on Monday, depending on how I'm feeling. There's an indoor complex not too far from me where Justin and I will play sometimes. I might go there during the day and just kick around for a little bit. But let's see what everyone else is saying. Now everyone's just kind of chit-chatting. No worries. But yeah, we just Rashford possibly going to Villa. Sounds like that deal is pretty much in the final stages. We'll probably get an announcement tomorrow, maybe Monday. And then Matthias Tell, we haven't made a verbal offer. So it could be 1 in, 1 out in terms of attackers go. Technically, it's 2 in, or 2 out, 1 in if you count Anthony, but do we really count Anthony? So let me know what you guys' thoughts on Matthias Tell. If you're excited, if you guys, like, how you feel about Rashford leaving. I know some people might not be too happy about that. Teresa, your stream is much earlier. I don't necessarily have a set time, unfortunately. I wish I could. My schedule here is just kind of all over the place right now. Plus, my wife caught whatever sickness I had last week, so I'm trying to just work a little bit around her and maybe make sure I can be here in case she needs anything, because she has just been wiped out by this. But I wish I had a set time. I just don't. I've tried to wait today until after some of the matches, because I figured a lot of people will be watching some of the football. So, and And like Slash says, talk of Malacia going to Benfica. Yeah, we did talk a little bit about yesterday. You guys are like good segues for me. So we talked a little bit yesterday about random reports linking Tyrell Malacia to Benfica. That came from a Portuguese outlet, which can be hit or miss if you know anything about Portuguese outlets. But this rumor is picking up steam. And in fact, Fabrizio Romano reported this morning that Malacia has now agreed to join Benfica. United are in advanced talks to seal the details of a loan move for the rest of the season. Mail Sport has taken it one step further and claimed that Malacia has already said his goodbyes to his United teammates at Carrington today. So, sounds like could be seeing Malacia head out the door. I mean, you had to figure the writing was on the wall when it came to the fullbacks that we have at the squad, especially if you were injured for that long. In the case of Malacia, when we're signing Diego Leon, we're signing Patrick Dorgu, we're linked with all these other players. You had to figure it was going to happen. In fact, on Dorgu, Fabrizio Romano claims that his 5-year contract is being signed as we speak, and that one will be announced tomorrow. So, getting those over the line. Teresa says, I'm Portuguese, born in Mozambique, raised South Africa, and at the moment in Portugal. Very continental. Wow, nice, all over the gaff. I like that. Wow, well, thank you for stopping by. I love that I have so many people from all around the world joining in and being a part of this community. This is one of the best communities, man. I love it. You guys are all over the place. I have nothing but time for that. Danny is from Ireland, living in the U.S. Yep, Danny, my Irish brother from another mother. Danny says, delighted if we get 40 million in the summer on top, I will be beaming. Yeah, we get some money from some of these sales. That would be nothing but, I mean, Rashford's all profit, obviously. So, anybody excited, though, that some of that money could be going towards Rayon Cherki might want to mute the stream for the next couple seconds here, because Fabrizio Romano is claiming that Borussia Dortmund are now progressing in talks for Rayon Cherki. And he's their top target as the transfer window reaches the last couple days. There's an initial green light from Cherki to the Dortmund project, still working on the details, it sounds like, but there's a verbal agreement between Cherki and Lyon that he can leave for around 22.5 million euros. I think that's like 18 million pounds. Very, very bummed about that if it goes through. You guys know I'm a huge Rayon Cherki fan. I think he fits what we need to the T in terms of one of those number 10s, and he can fill in a wingback if we need to. Mainly, I see him being possibly pushed to one of those wingback roles if we're playing against a side that sits back a little bit and we're going to have more of the ball. It gives us another option up there in attack. So that is a bummer. We'll keep an eye on that one, though. But we know we were linked with him this week. Doesn't sound like maybe that's going to happen, but it is what it is. And anybody who did watch the under-18s this morning, they did have a Manchester derby. It was at Carrington. It was very early this morning, 6 a.m. my time, but they did lose 4-0. City handed us our first loss of the season that ended our winning streak. We were literally like 11-0 going into this, and now we have the loss on there. Murdoch, Kamasan, Obi Martin, Tyler Fletcher, Jace Fitzgerald, Harry Amos, Thwaites, Musa, Scanlon, and Reese Monroe were all starters today. Kakonki was on the bench. Just a couple of tidbits from that. So Harry Amos, the noise around Harry Amos getting a spot has died down recently in the starting 11 because I don't think he's physical. And if you watched him even at this level, the academy level, he's just not physically even there yet in terms. He doesn't look like he's quite hit a growth spurt, and he might never really hit a growth spurt in terms of just jumping up like a foot or half a foot, because he might not. But physically, Harry Amos is just not there. He's got very, very good footwork. He's very, very good on the ball. He's very good at creating space for himself, but eventually you do have to go into challenges. Eventually you do come into contact with your opponent, and he is just not there. He's still young, so he could hit a growth spurt or maybe hit the gym. But he's getting muscled off the ball even at the academy level. So there's no way he can hang in the Prem right now. And Ruben Amorim probably saw that early on. City were just all over United today in the under-18s. They were physical. They were energetic. They were quicker. They were just better in the physical aspects of the game. And they were clinical. They pounced on loose touches. They pounced on just dallying on the ball in midfield. They launched counter after counter when they didn't win the ball. And they were clinical because they've capitalized on those counters. So it is what it is. The loss kind of had to come at some point. You figure we're kind of doubling down on that. But But, big up for them for being undefeated until now. Hopefully we don't let it ruin the confidence. Hopefully there's the ability to bounce back and push on from this. But it is what it is. But Danny says, Gyökeres, Dibbling, Kenda, and Buemo, João Gomez in the summer. Maybe cheap CB. We might push for top 4. We just got a cheap CB, man. Aiden Heaven, 18-year-old, first team ready, number 26. Jason Wilcox said it himself. He's first team picture ready. João Gomez or Ederson. Yeah, either one would be just fine for me personally. Don't forget about Angel Gomez. I mean, he could be free as well, so that could help us. And yeah, Danny agrees. Harry Amos, 100% not ready for the Prem. Definitely. And he's still very young. I say that like I'm just giving up on him. He's very, very young still. Godwill Kokonki, very, very, very young. A lot of these guys are. So, but that is the transfer news. Let's jump into the match preview because we do have Crystal Palace tomorrow. We did draw against them earlier in the season. We are hoping to maybe put together a string of back-to-back wins in the league right now. We've got some back-to-back wins in the last few matches in all comps. We have yet to put together 2 wins on the bounce in the league, though, which is very, very frustrating. That's not the way to push yourself. There's a reason we're in the bottom half of the table because our league form is absolutely atrocious, personally. Yeah, Danny says, 17 still, Kokonki 16. Yeah, Kokonki's been in and around the first team squad in terms of training. I think a lot of people are getting excited, but people forget he's still very young. So Crystal Palace come to Old Trafford, right one spot below us in 13th place. They have 27 points, so they have just 2 points less than we do. Despite losing to Brentford last weekend, they are actually on a little decent run of form. They have 3 wins, a draw, and then that loss to Brentford in their last 5 in all competitions. Before that, their last losses were back-to-back against Arsenal in the Premier League and then in the League Cup. We are also in the middle of a good spell right now. We've got 4 wins, 1 loss in their last 5 in all comps, so not doing too poorly right now. But in terms of the league, like I said, it's been 1 step forward, 1 step back in terms of just trying to build any sort of momentum in the league. We can't do that. I mean, pattern, like going up the pattern, you'd probably think, we won against Fulham. That probably means we're going to lose tomorrow because that's just the way we've been doing things. So on Palace, so Oliver Glasner obviously came in last season, sticking with his 3-4-2-1 formation. They started off strong last season, but again, like other managers, the new manager bounce kind of dwindled after a little bit, and they've been found out. It didn't help that you lost Michael Olise. It didn't help that Eberici Eze was also wanting to leave in the summer, didn't get his move. Right now, Jean-Philippe Mateta is their man in form. He was nominated for January Premier League Player of the Month after he bagged 4 goals, 4 games last month. Jefferson Lerma, Will Hughes are, can you imagine? They have been a solid midfield pairing for them in that pivot. Adam Morton is injured right now. They are among the best in the league right now when it comes to winning their individual duels. They actually lead the league in tackles per 90. Coincidentally enough, we are second for tackles per 90. So a couple of physical teams in that midfield. This midfield battle is going to be fun to watch tomorrow. Hopefully that means Ugarte can return. He did give a little interview in MUTV, so maybe that is an indicator that he's going to be back tomorrow. But I need Ugarte to come in because we're going to need some physicality and we're going to need legs. We're going to need fight, that attitude in that midfield battle. That's where this game is going to be won or lost, in my opinion. Palace are also 17th for average possession this season, meaning they're going to be happy to let us have the ball. They're going to be looking to hit us on the break. We need to make sure we don't let that happen because we almost got punished a couple times against FCFB for that exact same reason. We lose the ball, 1 pass gets through midfield, and we're cut wide open. We've been like that for the last several seasons. We have to figure out a way to stop that happening because it's going to cost us. We got lucky against FCSB. We're not going to get lucky week in, week out if we keep conceding those kind of single pass opportunities for the opposition and letting them right into our box. Palace are going to be without a couple players, though. Decore's out, Wharton's out, Ward, Riyad, Franca, likely all still be out. Chris Richards was taken off late against Brentford with an issue, so we'll see if that's going to impact them. The big news, though, going into this one is that Palace are going to be without Eze. He did pick up a knock against Arsenal. He has not been in training, as Oliver Glasner has said. So no danger men for them other than Mateta, really. I mean, they can still hurt you, obviously. But the big threat would have been Eze going into this one. But he's not going to be there. Like we saw against FCSB, I like to see our wingbacks show a little bit of courage, a little bit of confidence to get involved higher up the pitch. We were kind of toothless until we made some of those changes at halftime. We moved some personnel around on the pitch, and we started getting a little bit more courageous on the ball. This system that we play is not supposed to be a back five, but a back three with protection from midfield. The wingbacks are supposed to be attackers. They're supposed to create width. They're supposed to be attacking outlets higher up the pitch. They're supposed to put pressure on the opposition fullbacks and even put pressure on the opposition wingers to keep them hemmed back a bit. Too often, our wingbacks just sit deep and they make a back five when they get, or they get forward to the midfield, they get the ball and they pass it back, and the whole momentum is killed. Ahmad is the only one who routinely gets the ball forward, routinely gets the ball in the box. Now, whether that's tactical or whether he's just the only one who can do that is up for debate. But we need our players to show more of that attitude that Ahmad's been doing. Then it says Munoz is the one dude to watch. Yeah, we did. I remember the last preview we did with Palace. Munoz, because they do play with these wingbacks, and Munoz does cause some problems as well. We need to hem them back, though. We need to not let them control that. They like to get that ball wide, get it forward. So this is why I want your guys' help, because I want to know how you guys are going to line up this one. I'm shaking things up. I want your help. So first and foremost, we're going to decide right now, do we want to do a predicted 11, how we think we're going to line up, or are we going to want to do our preferred 11, how you guys would like to line up? Let me know what you guys want to do. I'm going to do a poll here. Predicted 11 or preferred 11? Because that's obviously going to make a difference, because we can sit here and say all day how we think we're going to line up, but then there's a whole other thing to say, how will we line up, how we would want to line up. So Danny wants Ahmad at right wing back for this one. Yeah, and this is where you guys are going to get involved. So sounds like we got our first pick already. I'm going to go ahead with that one and put Ahmad at right wing. What the heck just happened? I lost my Ahmad picture. Whatever. Oh, there he goes. Found him. All right, so we got our first pick. We are putting Ahmad at right wing back for this one. Predicted 11. Okay, I don't know why I put a yes or no poll. That was funny. I'm going to end that. You can tell I don't do YouTube a whole lot, right? So what's Danny? Danny's going with Bayendir. How about that one? That's interesting. What do you guys think? You guys want Bayendir in goal for this one instead of Onana? So it sounds like maybe we're going to be going with a preferred 11. And like Slash says, 2 fullbacks at wingback just hasn't been working. And yeah, and we've said that a couple times. So it already looked like Dalot was not quite fitting in, but I'm starting to wonder if Mazraoui is going to be a good fit in this system, because it's the same thing as Dalot. Mazraoui doesn't quite know if he's going to stay back, if he's going to get forward. He got a little forward against Fulham. He was getting a little more central, getting a little more advanced positions, but it just doesn't look too natural. I don't like Mazraoui on the ball in and around our own box, because he is just not great on the ball. So we're letting Danny pick the starting 11 this time. You guys keep chatting. Who do you guys want in defense? I'm going to go ahead and kind of put together what Danny's working with right now. So Danny says Bayendir, Dalot, Martinez, De Ligt, Mazraoui, Ahmad, Ugarte, Bruno, Menu, Garnacho, Xerxes. So Danny wants Xerxes up top. Now I had Xerxes predicted against FCFB. Obviously that didn't go to plan. We persisted with Højlund, and to his credit, Højlund had a better match than he had before. It just wasn't a good match. Better is not the same as good. Composed View, welcome back, my friend. You're right. I think Mazraoui is better as a right center back, Test or right winger. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where if you're a right back who's a little more attacking, or if you're a winger who's got a little bit more defensive output, I think the winger who has a little bit more defensive output, a little bit more physicality, a little more stamina, is probably going to do better in this system than a attacking-minded fullback, if that makes sense. I think someone like Dan James, for instance, would probably do very well as a wing back in this kind of system. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put Danny's predicted 11 up there. You guys keep getting your thoughts in on some of the news that we talked about. Do you guys think we're going to see any big shakeups on Marcus Rashford situation tomorrow? Will we see Matthias Tell maybe announced? Will we see Dorgu get announced? So according to Romano, Dorgu is pretty much getting ready to sign that paperwork. We could see that tomorrow. Yeah, I'm just creating the 11 over here. I'll put it up there when I'm done. So Danny is putting DeLitt in the center of defense. So did Maguire didn't play against FCSB, did he? No. How's everybody's Saturday going? I feel like I just got tired all of a sudden. It's been a long day already. I'm getting back into my normal routine, which meant working out again for the first time in a while, which still is difficult because I'm so stuffed up. If you can't tell that I'm like, it's hard to breathe when you're stuffed up like that. And so I get really tired really quickly when I'm sick. Tried to clean up the bathroom a little bit today, which was just all sorts of fun after the dogs have been sick as well. So that was a fun little exercise today. But how's everybody's Saturday going? I forgot that it was the first of the month, so February 1st for everybody. Hope everybody is enjoying first day of February. January, I'm not going to lie, the last 2 weeks of January, they feel like they went by quickly when I look back now, but they did not feel that way in the midst of it. It's hard to believe I've been back from Manchester for a couple weeks now because, like I said, my dogs were sick. I was sick. My wife's sick now, so it's just feels like it's been a lot longer. Oh, Danny wants Bruno in the pivot, I think is what Danny's going with. I'm going to put Danny's predicted 11 up here, or preferred 11 up here, and I want you guys to give your thoughts on it, because there's a chance we could see Bruno kind of hanging out in that pivot from now on. He did fine against FCSB, and I think that could be something that we see from now on. But that was the big question going into this. Do we want to see Mainu in the 10? I think was the biggest question after that last match. He hit a very good match. Obviously, a goal and assist for your first game in the 10 is not bad by any stretch. So I'm going to put this up here on the screen. Oops. And you guys can give some feedback. So let me just get this shared real quick and see what you guys think about Danny's lineup. All right. So this is Danny Boy's preferred 11 going into this match tomorrow. Slash says, Dalek can do a job on the right when we're not expecting to have much possession, but he's been awful on the left. Yeah. I mean, Dallo is just one of those who looks like sticking out like a sore thumb in this system, personally. Danny says Maguire probably play. Well, we're going with Danny's preferred 11 today. So this is Danny if we lose, and if this 11 plays, we're going to come for you, buddy. Usman, good to see you, my friend. How are you? How are your family doing? I know you guys were going through a bit of a rough time recently. Hope everybody is doing better. I hope everybody's kind of supporting each other. You know, you've got the love and support of the UVE community, man. So our thoughts and prayers, condolences are with you and your family, Usman. But it is good to see you this morning. Danny says, brilliant. Ireland are smashing England rugby, so I am happy. Nice. Guinness is flowing early. Trini Red Devil, welcome to the channel. Good to see a new face. I want to see Mainu in the 10 again with Garnacho. Well, that is what Danny has wanted. Danny has put Mainu up there. And again, that was the big question going into this. You know, does Mainu start in the 10 again? Did he show enough? Is it worth giving a try? Maybe swapping him and Bruno for a couple matches. Good, thank you, says Usman. Good, man. Good to see you, Usman. Good evening, Sanjay. Catching me live this time. Usually you're able to catch me after, but I always see your comments, man, and I always respond. But good to see you live, Sanjay. Welcome back. So this is a preferred 11 for Danny B, one of the longtime subscribers, the South American scout, my Irish brother from another mother. And This is who he would like to go up to against. So we got Leach on the left, Delit, Mazraoui. Danny wants Bayendier in goal for this one. He wants to maybe give Bayendier another game, maybe try him out in the league. Now, again, this is the preferred 11. If I had to guess right now, I probably wouldn't think that Amorim is going to start Bayendier in the league. He's usually like a cup keeper. Danny's got Ugarte next to Bruno in the pivot. He's thrown Dallo on the left wing back, Ahmad on the right wing back, and we've got Menu and Garnacho in the 10s with Xerxes up there. So Garnacho obviously played a big part against FCSB, coming on as a sub and a half, taking over in that 10 spot. We pushed Ahmad to the right as well. And so there could be a chance that maybe Amorim saw something there. He liked what he saw. He was praising Ahmad, praising Menu after the match. So probably a chance we could see him stick with that. If not to start, then maybe to switch over. Trainer says, I don't like Delit as the middle CB. Maguire is better there. Maguire has been very, very good. And I don't disagree. I think Maguire, to me, has a spot in this team against certain opposition. When you're getting opposition who are going to be playing a lot of long balls, if you're getting opposition who's going to be putting a lot of crosses into the box, Maguire probably is a better option. But he's not the long-term option, unfortunately. He'll probably stick around for at least another year, but he's not the long-term. And if Delit is going to be, we just signed Delit. If he's going to be here, he's already a leader, even though he's in his, not even mid-20s, he's 24, 25 Delit. He's going to have to learn how to do that. In this system, I also think that right center back role is probably the only role that Mazraoui is going to be ready to play. I don't think he can do the right wing back role, and he's definitely not as good as Ahmad in that right wing back role. So again, it's one of those things where just going to have to do that. The problem with Maguire as well, as Danny says, in a high line, it just doesn't work. If we're not going to be moving the ball, if we're not going to be playing a counter attack, Maguire could go to Everton right now under David Moyes and probably look like a world beater personally. But Sanjay's glad Rashford will be gone. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, we'll be getting an update on that maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday. I just hope that the update isn't a distraction from the match tomorrow. Wait till after the match if we're going to do anything personally. But that is Danny B's preferred 11. You guys, how are you guys thinking that? How you think that's going to go? Let me know what you think of that. Slash says, yeah, May Maguire always has a mistake in his locker. Yeah, I don't have a problem with Maguire personally. Like I said, he's not a bad defender. He just, the way we played under Ten Hag, he didn't really fit. He's looked good under Amorim when called upon, right? He hasn't really put a foot wrong too frequently. Same with Johnny Evans, though. It's just, you can do the job, but it's just, are you the best fit? Probably not. So I'm going to take this off the screen now. So we really need to put 2 wins together in the league. We haven't done that all year. And like I said, if you want to challenge for anything, especially if you want to start challenging, getting back to regularly finishing in the top 4, challenging for titles, or even getting the top half of the table, you have to be able to put together a run of wins in the league. So what are we predicting score-wise tomorrow? I want to know what you guys think the score line is going to look like by the end of the day. I actually forgot to make a prediction. I think I predicted it on Super Brew. I just don't remember what I picked now because I did those picks early this morning and they already got messed up with all the results that were going on today. What did I predict for this one? So yeah, I predicted 2-2 Liverpool Bournemouth. That one didn't go well. What is this one? Where is my pick? So I predicted 2-1 United tomorrow, which might be asking a bit, but that is my pick, 2-1 United. Yeah, like I predicted 1-1 of Forest and Brighton, and that did not go like that well. Yeah, what do I know? Villa are losing right now. At least they were losing to Wolves the last time I checked. Are they still losing? And Danny's echoing my scoreline, 2-1 United. Yeah, I think it could be 2-1 United. I think that we saw enough against FCSB to show me that with Menu maybe in the 10 with Garnacho, I think maybe Garnacho's mentality has been the biggest change I've seen in him. Could do something again. It's just difficult. Rich, good to see you, my friend. Hopefully you're doing well, man. Just wrapping up here, we're trying to get score predictions for everyone. We let Danny pick to start his preferred starting 11. He has Bayendier starting. He has Menu Garnacho in the 10, Xerxes starting in the top, Bruno Ugarte in the pivot, Dallo left wing back, Ahmad a right wing back, and then a back three of Licha, Delit, and Mazraoui. So Rich just finished eating. It's dinner time where you are, my friend. What was for dinner tonight? I don't even know what. I'm probably making some noodle soup for my wife, so I'll probably have some of that for my dinner. But yep. So I predicted 2-1. Danny's predicting 2-1. You guys get your predictions in the score. Rich is saying 2-1 as well. Slash saying I'd like 3-0 to really get some momentum going, but I think it'll be a lot closer than that. Yeah. It's hard to anticipate a clean sheet these days. Obviously, we kept one against Fulham, but Palace have been in a little better run of form. And Mateta does look a threat. The big help for us is the fact that Eze is going to be injured. And I don't celebrate injuries, but it does help that he's not going to be there. So Rich says, random fact, my first game at OT was versus Palace. That was my third match at Old Trafford was against Palace, and that was last season, and we lost. So that was the match last season when we had Amrabat playing left back, if you guys remember that. So, but big up. Yeah, my first match was Real Betis in the Europa League a couple years back. It was when we won like 4-1. And I did see Wout Weghorst score a goal at Old Trafford, so not many people can say that. Teresa's calling the 3-0. I like it. Rich, I think 5-2. Yikes. That must have been a while ago, huh? Can't remember the last time we had a 5-2. So mostly everybody's predicting a United win. Some of us calling it a little closer than others. But at the end of the day, we do need to put together a string of wins, and this is probably the best opportunity to do that. We're in a good momentum right now in all comps. We've got mentality going right now. Amorim's had more time to train. This is really going to be a good symbol of are we able to start turning a corner in terms of building on something, because we just haven't been able to do that in the league all season. So Real, that's 2003. That was a minute ago, man. Good deal. So if you weren't able to catch the live, no worries. Just let me know your thoughts on some of the transfer news in the comments. Let me know your predictions and whatnot, who you'd like to see start this one in the comments. You guys know I'll always respond to the comments. Please hit that like button for me. If you can, hit the subscribe button for me. We're on the road to 3K. We are getting there with your help. I think we can do it. Like I said earlier, we'll do another giveaway if we can get to 3K. So when we get there, we'll do that. I believe in you guys. You guys are legends. You helped us get to 2K so quickly. I think we can get there. And check out the memberships if you guys want to get a little bit more involved in some of the content. I'm going to try to start doing some panel shows in the future. The hard part with those is just getting everybody on the same schedule. You know, people have jobs and whatnot, so it's hard to get people who are available. But I'd like to do more of that. One of the membership perks does entitle you to put out some topics of discussion and some questions for the panel for us to kind of bounce around opinions and thoughts on as we do that. So keep an eye out for that in the future. Trying to get my boy Dylan, aka Christian Eriksen, to come back and get involved in that. But Sanjay says any win will do. Yeah, just a win. I don't care if it is a 1-0. I don't care if it's a 9-0. We absolutely have to win. The boys are playing with more self-confidence. It looks that way, doesn't it? It looks like it took us a little bit to get going against FCSB. It did unfortunately take the introduction of some youngsters to come in and change that game up. But I like what I saw from them. And like Rich says, yeah, panel shows do take a bit of planning. We've had it a couple times. Obviously, you guys know I've had Joel and Dylan on here at once, and we've had some big streams with those two. Justin's been here. Dylan's joined me for a couple as well. I'd like to get more of that going as well. And then obviously, if you guys do look at some of the memberships, one of the perks is you do get to join in on those. I'll send you the link. You can join in and be a part of that discussion on a given stream. So the panel shows, if I start doing them, are not going to be super frequent, probably like every other week or so, but something I'd like to get going because I do like having more people involved. Obviously, I like having you guys involved as well, but I like to get more people involved as well. I think you guys typically do get a kick out of that as well. No pun intended, because those streams tend to get a lot of views and you guys seem to get a lot of engagement. So like to give the people what they want. So until then, thank you guys for joining me. Again, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Go check out Rich's channel. I think he's going live this afternoon as well to talk more about transfers. So go check out Rich's channel when you get a second as well. We like to keep the overall United community growing. But until then, you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I will see you maybe tomorrow evening for a match reaction. I do have to take my dog to the vet next week, and then I'd like to go get some stuff done on Monday as well. So until then, enjoy yourself. Get Rich on some week soon. Yeah, I've been on Rich's show a couple times, I think, and jumped on there as well. So it's been really fun. I like doing that. I like meeting new people and connecting, and then obviously talking about United. So we're trying to do is what we can. The hard part for me is just my schedule, and then like my wife's schedule. Like I said, my wife and I both work from home. The office where she meets with clients virtually is like 5 feet away, and I can't have you guys hearing what's going on in that from in here, so it's hard to do that, but we're trying. That's why my stream schedule is kind of all over the place sometimes, because it's just, I never know what the schedule is going to look like on a given day. So if I'm feeling good enough tomorrow, I might head over to Loaded Dice in Troy. If there's anybody in the Michigan area, you want to come hang out with the Detroit Red Devils, the officially recognized Manchester United supporters group for Detroit, check out Loaded Dice. They'll be there tomorrow for the match. If I'm feeling better, I'll probably head over there tomorrow. I've got a couple programs to give to some of the guys over there, and I've got something else to give to them as well. Rich is probably live in an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how long it takes to set up. Yeah, no worries then. We'll be there, Rich. So go check out Rich's channel. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I will see you guys probably tomorrow night. But big up United. Glory, glory, Man United. Hopefully celebrating 3 points tomorrow. Till then, take it easy. Thank you and goodbye.